Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. We're going to discuss the astrological energies starting the week of Monday, December 8th, as we are moving through Sagittarius season. And yet we have a heavy focus right now on Pisces energies that are deeply influencing and impacting the bigger vision and choices that we're considering. Meaning, this could be a time period when you're really feeling into how much you want something, how much it aligns with your future vision. You could be really feeling that something is a clear yes. There's strong energy here. It's energy that's supportive at a soul level. And then you could also be feeling into other parts of your life that feel like the energy is leaking, dissolving, and being removed. There could be more extremes right now that you're feeling in various areas of your life. And this particular week is going to bring up some things for you to deeply trust in yourself at an energetic level without needing the mind to co-sign or have a clear plan. This could be a week when you feel a yes energy just takes over, almost that overwhelming desire to do something, get it done, move ahead. Or vice versa, you could feel that the energy really leaves. It just disappears and it's gone. And so in the higher realms, part of this particular time period is that we are being guided back to our soul's pure energy signature and essence. There is a bigger remembrance of what you agreed to create for yourself in this lifetime. And that remembrance can come in slowly or quickly, depending on your energy field. But there is an opening right now that we have access to that can be a little bit hard to trust at first. But you might feel that you're rising in your belief around something because it does align with this pure soul energy signature and a remembrance of what your highest path can be in this lifetime. And as soon as I say that, check in with yourself and determine if you go into stress, worry, uncertainty, guilt, anything that basically comes up where you're wondering, am I doing it right? Did I miss something? Is this the best choice? Is this the right path? All of that worry or any of those messages are actually meant to be softened and calmed right now, because this is a time for you to internally access a purified field of soul energy. And so I'm seeing this presented as a bright, sparkling portal of white light. Now, I know that can be connected to other experiences. This is not a white light of leaving the human body or transitioning into another realm. This is presenting as an effervescent, crystalline, bright white light coated with energy that awakens us. And I'm seeing the coding through these different glyphs, symbols, neutrinos, light codes. They're just very sparkly and pure. And I'm feeling like part of what this particular energy is bringing forward is asking you to be fearless in choosing what you feel is correct for you, what you feel is best for you. And it could be something that is wild and seemingly unreachable. It could be so off the charts. But what I'm feeling so strongly is that as we move through December into January and into February, we are receiving some really big downloads here that are right on time with the cosmic clock of the universe, delivering you messages that will shake up your sense of order, your sense of a determined path, that will ask you to look at your own expectations and assumptions, and that will ask you to question the bigger life path that you have access to now that you didn't have access to before. And so this is where things are in beautiful alignment with, again, the cosmic timing of it all. But then we have to meet the cosmos with that timing. You have to step forward and say, yes, I'm tracking with this change. I am tracking with this evolution. And that's part of the push here that is happening not only with humanity's journey, but at an individual level, because we like our little comfort zones. We like being in places where we know how things work and we know which cabinet the coffee mugs go in and we know what to expect on Thursdays. And we like to have all of that as very reliable grounding practices that we turn to. Of course, this is how we establish our lives. This is how we determine our priorities and bring order to the chaos of the world. But now the universe is saying that we need to step forward and track with the bigger changes that are happening right now and to trust that it's happening for a reason. So are you able to step forward and meet the universe in these new energy fields of very dynamic, fast-moving changes that will feel uncertain and ungrounding, especially right now? Neptune is stationing direct at 29 degrees of Pisces on December 10th, but the influence of this shift in energy is felt often 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after the exact stationing direct day. So there's been this incoming influence that's already been in motion and will continue through the rest of December that is bringing you back into your soul's awareness, your soul's energy field of what you are moving away from and letting go of because it served its purpose. It brought up what it needed to bring up, or it taught you what it needed to teach you. It was the experience that you agreed to have. I'm feeling this as a very significant changeover in our life path that we already sampled earlier this year in 2025 when Neptune had already moved into Aries for a few months. Then Neptune returned to Pisces for this final cleanse, last call, final dissolving of energies. And with the station direct, there is a new level of certainty from the soul around what is closing out. And I'm seeing this as a very grand wave that you might even feel coming through other realms, dimensions, and areas of your energy that are allowing you to let go. This is over. This is complete. You are free to move on. You are free to let go. And that's something that has already been in the works since last year. And so this is a time period when you could truly be ready for the changes that are needed, meaning you really feel the exhale, the release, the willingness to let go at a deeper level because the messages from your soul could be so strong right now that you can't deny them. And because Neptune is in Pisces, the energy comes through when you are in the other realms, when you are sleeping, meditating, astral travel is unfolding. When you are out of your logical, linear, rational mind, Neptune in Pisces delivers a wave of a message. It can be very inspiring. It can bring about unexpected clarity from the soul with spiritual guidance of what to do next. And so this can help you summon any energy you need to move forward, especially if you felt unsupported, uncertain, discouraged, disappointed. There can be a turnaround that unfolds starting this week through the rest of this month into January, and this is divine timing. This is divine timing saying the wait has been worth it. This is what you've been trusting and relying upon from unseen forces. This is where you've been supported behind the scenes or where there have been developments that you were not meant to know about because they didn't need your human involvement, but you've been sensing the energy is there. You could sense more of that support is now arriving and that there are more affirmations coming through that are guiding you. This is the biggest energy of this week because Neptune stationing direct creates a vibration, a pulsing vibration out in the cosmos that brings about these turnarounds. You could have renewed faith, more trust, feeling ready to move on and move forward, knowing that the previous chapters, karma, healing lessons are truly fading out and leaving. And again, this is all happening in the higher realms. And I'm seeing this being connected to a very pure soul portal that we've been moving back and forth between. Yes, it's like back and forth between timelines, between realms, between dimensions. But there are parts of our energy that we can't take forward. And so that's where the soul is blasting in more of this high vibrating crystalline energies that show you actually need less. You don't need more, you need less. The only thing you need more of, more love, more self-compassion, more forgiveness, more self-confidence. What you need more of resides in the spiritual realms, and what you need less of is in the physical and mental realms. Your dreams could be vivid this week. They could be more real and strong with very clear messages. You could feel a wave of new downloads come through about what to trust next, what to move towards, what to take action on. Now, I do want to talk about that theme of taking action because Mars in Sagittarius is at 25 degrees of Sagittarius squaring Saturn in Pisces on Monday, December 8th. And so this means plans don't happen as you expected them to. There's a change in what you're meant to put energy towards. Mars is how you take action, how you make moves. In Sagittarius, it is robust and ready for the big time, ready for big moves, but meets up with Saturn in Pisces that is someone telling you, no, this isn't going to happen right now. It's not aligning just yet. We need you to wait. There can be disappointment as well as discouragement. There could be a sense of, I was really looking forward to that, and it's delayed or it's canceled. So if your week begins with any kind of disappointment or something needs to be rescheduled, part of the bigger message here is to remain adaptable, look at another plan B that will help you move the energy, and perhaps observe yourself and patterns you have, conscious or unconscious, around letting things go. Or allow this to be an opportunity to look at, how do I deal with disappointment and setbacks? Where does my energy go with that? Where do my emotions go? Now, I feel this is important because as Mars in Sagittarius continues to move forward, Mars is then going to have a square to Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees on December 14th. So that's next week, meaning this could be at least a week of plans changing and things not moving along as you expect or want them to. So yes, there could be a few areas of disappointment. The other thing that comes through when we have strong Pisces energy is that people don't show up. People get sick. They can't do something because they're dealing with influenza A or whatever. Kids are home from school and that impacts parents. Roads are closed or something is going on with the weather systems that impact your ability to go somewhere, which is also Mars. So think of those big snowstorms or incoming weather systems as part of this strong Pisces influence that is changing the routes, creating detours, shutting down your best laid plans. So that's something to keep in mind, not only this week, but into next week, as this Mars in Sagittarius is going to be frustrated. He's not going to get what he wants. Things aren't going to happen as quickly as he prefers. So how can you move this energy in a healthy, satisfying way when more is out of your control than normal? In a way, it could feel like a Mercury retrograde because there are limitations, setbacks, and challenges that are requiring greater flexibility and seeking new solutions. So that Mars in Sagittarius is frustrated. Then we have big Neptune and Pisces energies this week as Neptune stations direct on the 10th. And then there's one more strong element in play, which is Mercury in Scorpio opposing Uranus retrograde in Taurus at 28 degrees. This also happens on December 10th. So this is where there are surprising announcements and developments that can impact what we earn, accumulate, possess, invest in, and desire. And the one thing that stood out to me here around Mercury opposing Uranus is that it aligns with the Federal Reserve meeting to determine interest rates. Now, the meetings are December 9th and 10th, and then they make an announcement on December 10th. And Mercury in Scorpio opposing Uranus retrograde in Taurus is the financial axis of the astrology wheel. So this aligns with surprising developments, what might be assumed or predicted, could have some unexpected caveats to it. There might be some changes here to policies and interest rates that were not expected. Also important to note that now that Uranus is back in Taurus, there has been a lot more volatility with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So that's part of how this Uranus in Taurus energy will continue to play out into next April. Uranus rules high-level collective energies that all connect through a shared system, and the different components of that system can be going through their own cycles of change. And how I'm seeing this is the workings of a clock with all its intricacies and various components creating the whole. Well, Uranus in Taurus is going to continue to shake up the financial system, and we are overdue for some of the predicted crashes and fallouts that have been discussed for many years now. Uranus also relates to the grid of interconnected systems, and Pluto in Aquarius also relates to the grids on the planet, including electricity, technology, data storage, cloud-based systems, etc., etc. Multiple systems are active worldwide, and the astrology suggests that all of them are susceptible to greater instability and chaos over the next 6 months especially. But this doesn't necessarily mean they all fail or go down. But there are disruptions to their efficiency and current operations that will also change them permanently. So yes, that's vague. That's intentionally vague, and it's to highlight the vulnerabilities of our digital lives. So everything we have saved that we can only access when we have internet is a vulnerability. We need our paper copies. We need our physical resources. We need to have cash on hand. We need to have extra food in the pantry. We need to have printed documents of things that you own, perhaps manuals, insurance documents, maybe a backup of all your passwords. Printed copies of this, that, and the other thing would serve you well with this energy. So that's what I wanted to basically get across, especially with Mercury in Scorpio opposing this Uranus retrograde in Taurus this week. You might suddenly realize where you need to realign your resources, documents, and essentials in a place or in a way that you can access them when you need them, which makes you less vulnerable to any of these system crashes that are part of an evolution. That's part of what we're moving through, is that the world is changing in very big ways, prominent ways. We all can see it. We're all aware of it, right? But now it's about bringing it down to your daily reality and how it impacts you in ways that maybe you haven't realized until now. So it's certainly not about living in a state of fear or expecting worst case scenarios, because collectively, I don't think we're entering into a worst case scenario world. I feel like our planet has evolved into much higher frequencies over the past number of years, and we don't have to play out certain extremes or wars or karma or trauma. There's things that we're no longer needing to learn from. Our collective consciousness doesn't have to learn certain lessons that we've already been through. We have changed the trajectory on the planet, and so we are in this new territory, but we have to stay grounded and clear in what still matters in our everyday physical lives. So yes, you still need water and food and shelter, but you might find that you're living more in the higher frequencies and that there's less that impacts you out there in the world. There's less going on that you feel you have to put energy towards or pay attention to. It's no longer even a concern. And I'm feeling too like part of how our planet is evolving right now is through the higher consciousness that enough people are holding and maintaining that's steering our cosmic ship in a new direction. You know, you think about the pilots of a plane. There's 2, maybe 3 or 4, depending on how long the journey is. There's only a minimal amount of pilots at the very front of a plane carrying hundreds of people. Same thing applies here. It only is taking the few who are equipped trained and holding the right direction and frequency to steer our cosmic ship in a new direction, in a new path. And so I'm feeling that that is how we have also moved away from some extremes and probabilities that have always existed in the collective consciousness. I feel like we've bypassed some things that we didn't have to reenact or participate in, but we still have to be practical and sensible about what it means to live our lives on the planet. So this is a week to pay attention to the bigger messages you're receiving from your soul. And these could be messages that you've already been dancing with and feeling. They've already been alive within you, but they're gaining strength. They are even more clear and more vibrant than they've been before. And this is also beautiful affirmation that you are stepping forward to meet your soul in this new energy field, that this is a time to honor what it means to ascend higher through the guidance of your intuition and your energy field that is beautifully loving you and supporting you during this very pivotal time on the planet. Yes, it's confusing at times, but it's confusing to the mind. It's not confusing to your soul. It's not confusing to your intuition. Your intuition is saying this, or do this, or go here, or try this. Your intuition is actually really on point right now. So the confusion is in the mind or in our human faculties that are trying to figure all this out and place it together. But the thing is, it's not going to look the same. It's meant to look different. It's meant to look new. And I also feel this lifting quality to it. That's why I'm smiling so much, because it feels like there's something that's setting you free when you let go of past experiences, situations, people, healing, lessons, whatever it may be. It's almost like there's something arriving that's a reward, validation, confirmation, support, and or encouragement for what you've been through and how far you've come. And this is a part of the divine timing of it all. So even though there can be frustrations with that Mars and Sagittarius hitting those roadblocks, detours, cancellations, and changes in plans, that is only momentary and passing. And ultimately, it's keeping you in the alignment of divine timing. So I hope this helps you begin your week. And also I want to say thank you to all of you who have shared your feedback on this new format. I will still be doing some longer episodes when there's a topic worth discussing. So I'll still be doing the monthly heads up videos where we'll discuss the main astrology coming up in January 2026, as well as any other specific astrological topic or themes that deserve more of a deep dive, intuitive analysis. Also coming up on Saturday, December 13th, I am doing a live presentation about ascending between eras. This will detail what we're moving into over the next number of years astrologically, as well as the human design changes that are unfolding. Plus, I'm bringing in some of my galactic channeled messages and some important insights to be aware of as we go through this very big cycle in humanity's evolution. We've never done this before. It's a very big deal. And the astrology is showing us the timeline as well as a very clear path. Plus you bring in the human design energies of moving from a generator-based existence into a projector-based existence and what that means, plus all the galactic energies and cosmic influences that are also coming onto the planet. So I am doing this live presentation for you on Saturday. I'm offering it at 2 different times. It is the same live presentation, but I'm doing a later time on Saturday to meet the schedules of those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. I believe that then lines up as Sunday morning for you around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. But I so appreciate how many of you have stayed up late or gotten up early to be a part of my live presentations, but I can adapt to you. So I'll be doing that for this information on Saturday, where I'll be discussing 12 high-level changes and giving you energy tips, practical ways of working with this energy, what to prepare, what to know is happening so that you can start adjusting now, as well as anticipating what is correct for your energy and where you can make the most of these big changes. So I hope you'll join me coming up on Saturday. Again, that's called Ascending Between Eras, and I'll put more information in the show description. I will be back here on Wednesday for our next podcast episode. I look forward to connecting with you then and wishing you a beautiful week through Sagittarius season. Take good care.